bribing city officials is not only illegal, it's mandatory. It's Late Night with David Letterman. Tonight, Moon's like to thank you all for your lovely cards and letters during his recent stay in prison. David Letterman!
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. And excuse me one second here. Pardon me. Excuse me. Hi, welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. A little hay fever there on my part. There's an interesting survey in USA Today this morning. Do people read this newspaper, USA Today? Yeah. Well, we're off to a flying start, aren't we? Excuse me. Okay. According to a survey in USA Today this morning, by the year 1992, every person in America will have been questioned by a USA Today poll taker. We'll be all right. Don't worry. We're just heating up. We're just breaking a sweat here. Yeah. You know who Lyndon LaRouche is? That's a sibilant S, isn't it? Yes. How would you describe Lyndon LaRouche? He's a political advisor, activist, that kind of far right. Has some interesting theories, doesn't he? He was quoted in the paper this morning. One of his theories now, he feels that the current wave of terrorism is directly attributable to Queen Elizabeth. And he feels she is doing this to distract world attention from her affair with Bob Keeshan. Still, we're just breaking a sweat here, Paul. We'll be all right. I got plenty of these, so there's no worry. It's not like we're going to run out of great jokes tonight. We have, how many do we have tonight, Kevin? We have four.
Four jokes.
Yeah, so we're only halfway home.
It's great.
I think it's a respectable beginning. Don't you feel that way?
Solid foundation.
Excuse me. Thank you very much.
You know, right there?
Well, Kurt Waldheim is campaigning now for in Austria. He wants to be the president of Austria, and he was campaigning yesterday. You're doing that again. You're hissing, aren't you? And he, during his campaign visit, he was a little elderly short man, ran up and slapped Mr. Waldheim right in the face several times, but it was okay. The thing was handled pretty easily. Kurt had the SS haul him off. So there was... Excuse me. So now we're down to four, and we know this one is going to be a powerhouse. This one is going to be... The other three were just kind of tactical positioning for the big sledgehammer comedy. Just boom! The powerhouse right here will come in, boom, right through your set and be hilarity all across America.
Hit me.
Huh? Okay. Now, as you know, Paul, when I go home after a big show, I'm kind of groggy, I'm a little woozy, I'm kind of tired. I lie down with damp cloths on my face. And I was watching television last night. I was in one of these conditions where you're kind of half asleep, kind of half awake, and you don't really know whether you're hearing something on the television or you're dreaming it. Well, that's what I was doing last night, and I remember hearing this phrase, sudden acceleration could cause your drive shaft to break. Now, I don't know if they were talking about a Honda recall or this was something on the Ruth Westheimer show. I'm just... Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Oh, boy. People in the studio audience are doing this now. Oh, my. Well, there you have the big four of comedy tonight. We got a good show here tonight. Richard Lewis is on the program also. And a very interesting, very entertaining, very fascinating gentleman by the name of Garland Bunting, who is a revenue agent. Do we know what that is? He goes around and finds places that are selling liquor illegally and busting up stills and that kind of thing. He's from North Carolina? Wait, are some of you folks carrying tonight? Where is he from? North Carolina. Interesting man. But before we get to all of that, oh, here's Paul. Say hello to our friend, Paul.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let the grooving begin. There.
Yeah, oh, like the first part wasn't grooving.
No. Well, that's just a preamble, groove preamble now.
You know, Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president, was it 16th, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once said that a man never stands so tall as when he steps out of the way for large comedy props. So, let's take a look now at some of the finest new products and inventions that American technology has to offer. Bring it in, boys, and look out, don't get hurt. New gift items. These will soon be on your store shelves all around the country. Yes, sir. So you can see how big they are. You know they got to be funny, right? You know, everyone loves those cute sayings on mugs and bumper stickers, but let's face it, folks, most are distortions of the truth, if not outright lies. So if you've got integrity, you'll get yourself some of these honest mugs and bumper stickers. For example, this one right here that says, "I go bowling because I'm fat and I drink." The electricians do it with their wives, or if unmarried, with their girlfriends. And finally, ask me about my grandchildren if you want to hear dull, endless anecdotes. Okay. If you have fish as pets, you know how important it is that they get plenty of exercise. So keep your finny friends fit and trim with this. It's the Aquarium Exercise Wheel. Aquarium Exercise Wheel. Let me turn it on for you. And look out. There we go. Okay, maybe. Those, of course, are just prop fish. Sick and tired of those cutesy refrigerator magnets that look like fruits and vegetables? Boy, I know I am. In fact, they look like anything but refrigerator magnets. Well, now you can amaze and baffle your friends with this set of magnet-shaped refrigerator magnets. Take a look at these boys. Yes, it's an old-fashioned idea with a jet-age twist. Magnet-shaped refrigerator magnets. An old-fashioned idea. An old-fashioned idea with a jet-age twist.
Excuse me,
Yes,
Dave?
Paul, what can I do for you?
Oh, there is a camera on me. What exactly is a jet-age twist?
It's just a gimmick.
Nothing.
Okay, let's move right along, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Do you have a cluttered desk? Well, take a tip from nature's neatest creature, the spider. With this artificial desk web, let me show it to you right here. There it is. You'll be able to keep your belongings in apple pie order, and yes, like the real thing, it stops bugs in their tracks. A stapler, a tape dispenser, a telephone, paper clips, pencils, a rubber stamp, a notebook, and many, many more. Why, thank you. On Sunday, May 25th, millions of Americans will join hands in a line from coast to coast to celebrate Hands Across America. But filling out the line in sparsely populated areas could be a problem. Well, that's the idea behind this specially tailored jacket. It's a fashionable way... It's a fashionable way to say, hey, people, let's get involved. This has turned out to be a lot of fun, hasn't it? Anyone who's ever slept in a bed knows the nuisance of having to constantly flip your pillow over to the cool side of the pillow. Well, that's why you need this mechanical pillow turner. It does all the work, allowing your blissful sleep to continue uninterrupted. And it's ideal for infants. Turn it on, boys. Turn it on, boys. Well, his drive shaft is broken. Okay, I think we all... Oh, there it is. Why don't you get up and get a job? Get out of bed and go to work, you bum. Okay. Yeah, I think the sound effects helped. You know, kids, ant farms have always been a priceless introduction to the workings of nature, but staring at those tiny insects could give your youngster a headache, and that's why I recommend the new improved version of that. It's simply called the Dog Farm, and here it is. It's the Dog Farm. Hours of fascinating fun and stores easily in a second home or warehouse. Hi, boys. Hello. Poor guy here. We have a really good show for you folks. It will begin, a couple of minutes from now, so come on back, folks. Thanks for being here. And it says here, proper forms of address. Now, what were you going to say when you meet Princess Di? What are you going to say?
Swell to meet you, Your Majesty. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
No, that's wrong.
What do you say?
But do you know how you address them? You're right about, yeah, you're right about Your Majesty.
Your Majesty.
Except for the King and Queen, Mother, both of whom are addressed as Your Majesty. All family members are addressed as Your Royal Highness. So you say Your Majesty. If you are presented to the royal family, which I'm guessing you will be, right?
I don't know. Maybe. If
you mean you're going all the way out there and you don't even know if you're going to be presented?
Well, you know, when you've got to show
You're going
up.
to try and cut in line or something?
Yeah, I'm going to try to cut in line, yeah.
All right. If you are presented to the member of the royal family, now you better be presented.
Okay. Yeah.
If we've gone through all of this and you're not presented...
If I am. What do you mean we've gone through?
Well, we had to rearrange schedules. We have to get a new guy in here to take your place,
Well,
and it's just been a madhouse.
All right.
If you are presented to a member of the royal family, you do not speak first.
Okay.
All right. You wait for the royal personage to speak first. Your conversation will be limited at best. No kidding. For example, at Wimbledon, the Queen might praise the American players' performances, to which you would reply, "Thank you for those kind words, Your Majesty."
Okay.
Well, let me hear you say it.
Well,
I'll be
set me up,
Charles.
as we say.
Paul, we all certainly admired your play this afternoon. No.
Excuse me, Your Majesty.
No. You don't look at him with that goofy grin, Paul.
You admired... I'm sorry, Your
I'm
Majesty.
pretending I saw you play at Wimbledon, like it says here in the book.
Oh, yes.
We we certainly were impressed with your level of play this afternoon.
Thank you for your kind words, Your Majesty. Would that be a...
Yeah, that's acceptable. Do you want this?
I better take that with me.
All right, we'll hang on
Give
to
me
that
that book, and I won't let you down.
Now, but call us tomorrow when you get to
I'm
Vancouver.
going to call as I'm just slipping into the
hotel.
collar and the...
Yeah, as you're getting ready. And go to Stanley Park. Have you ever been to Stanley Park?
No, I'll go there.
Oh, it's a beautiful city.
Who should I ask for over there? Do you know anybody?
Ask for anybody you want.
You have
I don't
a contact there?
No, with Captain Bob. He'll be there. Captain Bob.
Okay.
We want to show you. Do we have time to show the logo or just get on with it? Somebody tell me. Huh? Do it? Okay, this is now the official logo that will be seen every night on this television program. Can we roll that, Hal? This is how we'll end our day of broadcasting here at NBC. There it is, the official handshake from the General Electric Corporation. There it is. No, I don't think so. Okay, that'll be at the end of our program each night. Okay, we got a great show. Oh, I better bring him out, shouldn't I? I better bring him out. For over 20 years, make that 30 years, my first guest has been creeping around the backwoods of North Carolina looking for moonshiners. He is a very entertaining gentleman, and it's a pleasure to welcome him back to this program. Please say hello to Mr. Garland Bunting.
I'd like to say one thing.
Go right ahead.
My wife told me if I didn't announce that it was our 25th wedding anniversary, I knew there was going to be a big argument when we got back home.
Well, you don't want that.
No, because we divide the house up. She takes the inside and give me the outside. So I don't
no, okay. Been married 25 years.
I've been, yep.
Congratulations.
25 years.
What is What is your wife's name?
Colleen.
Oh, well, give her my best, please.
Right. She's back there.
Okay, well, I'll see her later, perhaps.
Right.
Now, the last time you were on the show, this book had just come out. It's Moonshine. It's a life in pursuit of white liquor, which is, I guess, what you do. Is that
Right.
correct? Explain to us now, are there still bootleggers? Are they selling alcohol illegally? What is it that you do? What's the biggest problem for you, and how do you spend your day?
Well, now, if I was talking to a lawyer, I'd say my job is to inspect, detect, and correct the illegal transaction of alcoholic beverages throughout the county of Halifax and surrounding counties and assist other agencies.
In what state is this?
This is North Carolina.
Is this a big crime? Does it represent millions and millions of dollars a year?
It did at one time, but now it's slowed down.
You're shutting it down, are you?
Well, drugs and cigarettes have shut it down.
Taken over.
Yeah.
Now, do you deal in drugs and cigarettes at all,
Well,
or just the...
drugs, no cigarettes.
Yeah.
Of course, I get mixed up in cigarettes sometimes when they're loading wares. You know, they load the same wares in where they sell sugar jars and jugs. They also sell cigarettes, and they slip out in the nighttime. You can't tell what they got on there till you follow him.
Yeah.
But if he starts north and goes as far as Maryland or somewhere, you know it's not going to a steal, so we go back.
Yeah. So that's a lot of work that you've invested. That probably
A lot of work for nothing.
There's a commercial featuring you for New Yorker magazine running.
Right.
Now, do for the people a little bit of what you say there, so they get an idea of what your work is like.
Well, I say the way to sneak up on a moonshine still depends a lot on the weather. A dry, quiet night with no wind blowing, you break just one small stick and you open yourself up for a load of buckshot and no flowers on your grave.
Yeah.
And then I say, Reverend, you safe to get a shot at a moonshiner. He might get better, but he'll never get well.
That's right.
I've had them tell me that in the woods. You know, I'd be in there working undercover with them.
Yeah.
And they said, I believe I hear old so-and-so slipping around. But if I get my sights on him, he might get better, but he'll never get well.
That's right. Now, do you get shot at? Have you been shot at in your career?
I was shot at last Thursday twice. Twice last Thursday. I was flipping around behind a trailer where I had information there might be a steal, and I saw a rubber hose hanging up there and a gas tank and a barrel, you know, the type used in steel, and I was trying to slip in there close enough to get some odor where I could smell it, to get enough probable cause to get a search warrant.
Yeah.
And two big hounds came out, yow, 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 and when he did, he run out the back door with his gun. Tow, tow, cut down twice on me. So I backed up.
Yeah. You backed up.
I had to back up, yeah. That's too hot for me.
Now, was the guy doing something illegal there?
I don't know. I hadn't found out yet, but I think he is by him shooting. I believe he is. That's gonna be another element of my probable cause. You see what I mean?
Yeah. So you're gradually building a case.
Right, I'm building.
Now, when you go in to check out an area or a new surrounding for illegal alcoholic activities, you do go underground and you use disguises, don't you?
Right. Well, that's when I'm working undercover. See, part of the time I work in the West, away from my country.
Yeah.
I work undercover. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And describe that. What is
Well,
that?
I go in. I have to go in there and do anything I have to do. Peddle fish, sweep street, drive taxis.
So
buses,
you
trucks.
pretend you're actually selling fish.
Right.
Now,
Now,
how would that work? You go into a new community. And don't they know you all over the state anyway by now?
No, you'd think they would, but I took my wife in the edge of the mountains last Thursday night.
Yeah.
And we went into a little old cafe. She said, you know they're going to know you. I went up to see some informers.
Yeah.
And I said, they don't. And we went in there to eat and walked around. And finally, she walked up to the cashier and said, do you ever seen this man before? I said, no, I don't believe I have. Yeah, she asked me that. Yeah, she got
blow your cover.
No, well, I had been 10 or 12 miles back in the country. You know? And she said, well, he's a celebrity. He said, oh, yes, I have seen him. I've seen him on David Letterman show.
No, but what I'm saying is now that would inhibit your work.
That's exactly right. But they didn't notice it until she
pointed it out.
That's right. She opened her mouth.
Well, then you're safe
See,
there.
this hat and this suit of clothes, I don't work like this.
Yeah.
I go to court like this. And I've had a lot of them backwoods people said, Judge, I wouldn't believe nothing he said. When he came out to my house, he had on a pair of hip boots and a pair of striped overalls, and his hair all down his back, short back, and his mouth talking trash.
Yeah.
But now he looks like a Philadelphia lawyer sitting up here. I wouldn't believe nothing he said.
Okay, we'll do a commercial when we come back. I want you to tell me about when you go into a city or a little community and pretend you're whatever you pretend you are, okay?
Fishman.
Okay, we'll be a fishman, yeah. We'll be back here with Garland Bunning. We got a keen show. I read the book the last time you were on, and it seems like a lot of your work is crawling under bushes, brush, and wading through swamps and just looking for people and waiting and waiting and waiting. Are you in pretty good shape for that? How's your health? Is your health all right?
I'm in best shape.
Yeah, well, that's good.
There ain't a man in my country can stay with me right now.
Yeah.
In the woods.
You're wily.
Running, I tell you, I run down a 22-year-old drug pusher about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of fat policemen out there on the lot. The sergeant said, you're going to have to go on and die.
Gonna have to do it?
You're going to have to go on the dive, lose some of that weight. This old man outrun you.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the fish, man. You know, I had a truck with a box fixed on the back of it, and I'd back down into a section and start talking trash. You know, I said, string out your dish pans. Here comes the fish, man. I got catfish, carp, and eel. The more you eat, the better you feel. I ain't got but a few more left. If you don't come get them, I'm going to eat them myself. Such junk as that. That's like the old fish man do, you know.
And people would buy the stuff?
Oh, man, you start talking trash. You know, get up this time, I'm going to sing you a little song entitled, The Farmer's Daughter Was a Red-Hot Mama, but the Iceman Cooled Her Down. You know, sweetheart, take your lip from mine so I can spit, you know, or something like, the farmer's daughter was a red-hot mama, but the Iceman cooled her down. You know?
And while they're busy looking at you, what are you doing? You're sort of eyeing the crowd, right?
What you do, you gain the confidence.
Yeah.
You go in there and talk, just like you know.
Yeah.
You're up here talking trash, people can relate to you. You know what I mean? They can relate to you. And anytime people can relate to you, they like you.
Yeah.
And they're going to buy your wares.
And then you gradually sucker them into your confidence, and then you make a bust.
Well, what they do, they see me out there as a fish man, and when I go to his house, I'm not a stranger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, come on in, fish man. What you want?
You'd go to the house because you thought that the guy was selling on Sunday or after hours or something
No,
like that?
selling white liquor, illegal whiskey.
Now,
it's illegal to sell any white whiskey.
Yeah. Now, what is white whiskey?
White whiskey is stump, it's skull cracker, you know, bush whiskey.
What are some of the other names for it?
Well, it's skull cracker, bush whiskey, bark whiskey, white lightning, moonshine, San Juan possum juice, anything.
San Juan possum juice.
Yeah, you know, if a possum falls in it.
Now, do things fall in it?
Absolutely. I've seen dogs. I saw one back in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, one time, had a carbide tank buried down level with the ground. Dog comes in there. You know, about all animals like grain. And he came there to eat. And he started eating that grain, and it was fermenting, you know, done got to be alcohol content in it. And he got drunk and fell over in there and passed out and died, drowned. And when they came there, they took sticks and worked him off and left the residue of dog hair and skin right in the thing and run it off. And I said, hey, man, you mean to tell me you sell some of that stuff? He said, I make it to sell. I don't make it to drink.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Now, have you ever tasted this stuff?
I've tasted of it.
Yeah, you can smell it from like miles away, can't you? You can smell
I
it.
can smell it a long way. I can smell it a damp night, you know, if it's still running, and I go down a certain road and the wind's right, I can smell it.
Yeah.
I found how 3 in one night riding roads.
Wow. And what do they charge you for? Do you go in and you buy like a quart of this stuff?
Well, they got different price. They're just like any other merchant. They get what they think you got, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And how drunk you are, you know.
Oh, so usually you're probably pretty well gone when you buy this stuff anyway.
I make out like I am. You know?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So what for a quart? What would you spend on a quart?
I'd say $5.
So that's a pretty good bargain for a quart of stuff. Yeah.
That's why they can compete with the stores, you know, the liquor stores. Sell it cheaper on credit. Sell it to anybody, minors, habitual drunkards, maniacs, anybody else.
Do you want,
you know?
Do you want that with or without dog hair?
Right. Well, you don't know what you're getting, really. You don't know what you're getting.
The new moonshine light, no dog hair.
In fact, what they're actually making in there is wood alcohol, ethyl alcohol, and grain alcohol.
Well, this stuff will kill you, won't it?
Man, it'll kill your soul and run you high up a tree. I'm telling you.
Which is, by the way, worse than being dead. Now, do you find that you've been doing this for 30 years? How much longer are you going to continue it?
I don't have no idea.
Yeah. Do you find young people wanting to get into this? Do you ever have to break in a new guy?
Yeah, oh yeah. Now, we broke in a new agent. You know, they said they want me to initiate him, you know, so I went to a still, and they couldn't find this still. It was kind of hard to find. So they called me, and I went over there. And what happened, they trailed up to a reed mash, and what he'd done, he laid a board down and gone through the reeds up on a log, and the trail played out. Anyway, I went on there, and I said, have you circled? They said, no, so I circled, hit the log, went on down to the still, circled off to the left, and I shot 3 times to let them know I had found a hot still and which way it was going. In a few minutes, I hollered for somebody to come get me.
Yeah.
Come in there, you know. Yeah. Well, this violator, he crossed the creek 3 times. I'd run him to death, what I'd done, 19th day of July, and he fell out, foam coming out of his mouth. And I hollered for some help, and they sent this new agent, a brand new law student out of law school.
How old a kid was he?
Oh, he was old enough, 21, 22, 3 years old, but he was out of law school, you know. And he said, what happened? I said, nothing happened. I shot the SOB. He said, you mean you shot him? I said, yeah, if you don't believe it, turn him over. And see if there's 3 holes in his back. He said, what did you call me in here for? I said, well, he used to carry some $100 bills in his pocket. And I go watch. I said, I'm going to match you to see who gets to go watch and who gets the $100 bill. And then we're going to bury him in here and camouflage his grave. He said, wait a minute, man. I can't have no part of nothing like this. I put my hand on my gun. I said, you can't? And I thought he was going to have a stroke to hit his through. And I had to come around. I said, no, I didn't shoot him. Really, I didn't shoot him. He said, wait a minute, man. Don't ever do that no more. Said, I've heard about some of your cables, but you like to make me have a heart attack, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, we took him on back to the steel. took him on back to the steel.
Yeah.
He was still shaking when we got back to the steel. And I asked him, I said, did y'all catch the one went to the right? They said, we didn't know one went to the right. I said, oh, yeah, one went out through here. So I took him out through there. I said, let me show you how to catch a man that's snoring from a steel. It was 5 miles back in there to another opening, you know, and I knew he couldn't get nowhere. So I trailed him in there about 400-500 yards, and I smelled that old mashing stuff on his feet, because it's in honeysuckle vine. And the 19th day of July, you know, honeysuckle smell good, yeah. So I said, hold on, I smell him. He said, what? I said, I smell him. He said, you go to hell. You don't smell him. I said, you watch him now. I said, the trail's played out right here. But you watch him now. He's around here somewhere, but I'm going to make him come out. I said, well, the trail's played out, and I don't know which way it went, but I'm going to shoot all through these bushes in here and see if he's in here anywhere. He said, hey, man, don't you shoot in here.
All right.
And that young lady can tell that thing to this day.
Garland, nice to see you.
Yeah.
Happy wedding anniversary. Thanks for being here. Garland Bunning, we'll be right back, folks. Your Majesty. Let's hear it.
Thank you for those kind words, Your Majesty.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm ready. I'm set. I'm set for the royal hang.
Now ask them if they've ever seen the program. They've never seen the show, have they? Well, they might.
I hear they get cassettes, VHS cassettes, sent over to them in the United States.
Tomorrow on this program, Paul won't be here, but we have a great show anyway. Clint Eastwood will be here, Charles Grodin, and a Royal Lipizzan stallion. I'm sorry, excuse me. That's Clint Howard, not Clint Eastwood. Forgive me, I'm sorry. He's Ron Howard's brother. Ron Howard's brother.
But I won't be here, but I will be calling in.
You'll be calling in. We'll be talking to you on the phone.
Into my tux for the royal.
Hours before your royal hang.
Yeah.
Later in this program, Richard Lewis will be out here. You know, it's time now for a cable television quiz. You know, some sort of a madman interrupted HBO the other night, and so we have a little quiz prepared for you. And if you have HBO or you just watch TV or bored silly like the rest of us, you could take this little quiz with us. Here we go. Question number 1. Your cable TV installer gives his most careful attention to A, minimizing the interference from your home wiring, B, maximizing the cable television signal, C, casing your home for valuables. That's the truth. That's the truth. Most of these people have done time. Every day, thousands of subscribers call their cable company and say, I want my A, MTV, B, HBO, C, money back. I'm telling you, these cable people are pinheads. People who didn't pay to see moving violations, the motion picture moving violations, in the theaters are A, enjoying it now on HBO, B, renting it to show to their friends on VCRs, C, lucky. Number 4, we're all the way to number 4 now. Stations like WGN in Chicago and WTBS Atlanta are called super stations, A, because they cover the entire nation, B, because they can afford more expensive programs than the average independent station, C, for the same reason a short person is called Stretch. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for those kind words, Your Majesty. Scrambling their signals by cable channels, A, thwarts video pirates. B, is currently a very controversial practice. C, actually improves the movie Police Academy 2. Similar to an earlier joke. Number 6, statistics indicate that over 65% of all cable programming is A, sports, B, movies, C, Ginsu night ads.
Hello, I'm Grant Tinker, chairman of the board of NBC. You also know me as Captain Midnight. I have interrupted all television broadcasts in the United States to alert the American people to the grave danger of cable TV. By the way, I'm sorry I had to break into The Falcon and the Snowman on HBO the other night. But I checked, and you'll get another 56 chances to see it in April alone. Anyway, just remember, it's stupid to pay for television. Why not enjoy it the way nature intended? No, not in the nude. Free of charge on the major TV networks. I now return you to your regularly scheduled programs. If you're watching NBC now, you'll be joining Tom and all his wacky late-night pals. If you're not watching NBC, screw you.
Customers say that the best thing about HBO is it lets you watch movies without A, standing in line, B, paying $6 for a ticket, C, wearing pants. Well, there you have our little cable television program quiz for you tonight. Who's next? Richard Lewis will be out here in a couple of seconds.